So we did like a 142,000 in 2021. You have to fake it till you make it, I guess, in any business, because nowadays in 2024, like people don't care as much about your product, they care about your message.
Appreciate you coming and sharing your your journey and your product and talk about your story and your brand. It is a cool product. I was just looking at it. It's the Nana hats. That's pretty cool. I love it. I haven't seen anything like it, so it's very unique, and I'm interested in hearing like the whole story and how well it's going for you. When did you start this brand? When did you launch this?
Yeah, so I launched the company. Well, I had the idea back in 2016, and I write down all of my ideas into a journal, and I have tons of crazy inventions. I'm one of those people who go through life and try to just see how I can make things better and easier for myself. And if I get a really great idea, I'll write it down, and then I'll check, like at some point, like later down the road, I always check to see if it's already been done before. And
Nice.
oftentimes all the ideas are already done. So I had the idea in 2016. I wrote it down because I don't know if no one really realized that, like, the whole reason that there's tape on the crown of the bananas at the grocery stores is to keep them fresher for longer. And everyone thinks it's normally just to keep them together. But there's a whole science behind it. So I would bring the bananas home, and I would take the shopping bag and I would like tape it to the banana crown. And after doing that for a while, people would come over and be like, what's that for? And I'd explain to them. And I'm OCD. I like the way things look in my kitchen, especially the fruit bowl, which is like most prime real estate in your kitchen countertop. You want your fruit looking prime, because it sits out for everyone to look at. So I knew there had to be a better idea, a better way to do something more sustainable than just like using single-use plastics that don't look cute or fun. So yep.
I like it. I know there's definitely a lot of people that like to keep their kitchen tidy and looking nice. So this is a nice way to make it look, more friendly and give it more character.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the hats are interchangeable with the silicone cap. It's all attached by magnet.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so you can just like swap out like the cute character hats based on whatever you're feeling that day.
I love that. And when did you launch this on Amazon?
So we did a Kickstarter in November of 2020, and I got like 157 backers. I mean, I used it as a marketing tool to launch the company, not so much that I needed to raise $5,000, but I got a great, really positive response. And then we launched the website right after the Kickstarter concluded, and then we launched on Amazon probably right away, like a month later in early 2022.
Oh, nice.
Or 2021, excuse me. Yeah.
Did you do any like social media marketing before Kickstarter, or you just put it on Kickstarter and you were able to get support on Kickstarter?
I did no marketing before Kickstarter because the product wasn't ready to sell. But like once with the Kickstarter, I promoted it a little bit on Facebook and Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know, I didn't put a lot of money into it. But that was my first like time dabbling with the, marketing for Kickstarters.
Yeah, no, that's cool though, that like you were able to get proof of concept just from Kickstarter, at least give you that confidence that like, okay, this works. Like there's some demand on this before even launching it. Or so did you like create the Kickstarter campaign using your samples? Like did you do the graphics and the videos and using the samples, and you did a Kickstarter from there and use the funds from Kickstarter to kind of launch your production run and whatnot?
Yeah. So the everything was, yeah, I mean, pretty much like everything was already paid for by the time the Kickstarter already happened. So we already
Oh,
had,
I see. Got it.
yeah, I already had all the photos, the marketing, like already lined up, so
Yeah.
it was more of like just getting like shooting the business out of a cannon to start, like just getting a lot of sales in the beginning.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because a lot of sellers or beginner sellers come to me and they ask me, how do I get a crowd to support my Kickstarter, and should I start on social media? How do I get emails and whatnot? And I tell people, like, just try it out without any of that. Try to get it tested. And there are people who are watching Kickstarter and looking for ideas, and they want to support it, and they get excited, and they want to, because they get it at a discounted rate, right? You're selling it at a discounted rate on Kickstarter, technically. Like,
Yep.
for people to support your idea, you give them a discount.
And there's like tech blog writers that like all they do is like there's all these journalists that are just looking at Kickstarter for like new ideas, and they write articles. Like we had a few articles written about our Kickstarter, which and that's like unpaid promotion, which is like a gold mine for any business.
Wow, that is so cool. Yeah, so they're looking for material to write on, and they see your product, boom, they have something to write about, and it's free marketing.
Right.
I love that. So you mentioned in the beginning that you like to do something that's not out there. So you did your research and made sure that there's nothing like that out there. Do you mind me asking you, like, what tools did you use to do some market research? How did you conduct your product research?
Well, a lot of like basic scanning the internet, like around Google and looking for any prior concepts. The other thing that gave me confidence was that, when I really made a full commitment to the company that I was going to move forward, is when I met with my patent attorney to actually file the patent application. Whenever you meet with a patent attorney, the first thing they do is called a prior concept search, so that they search all the available online databases and patents across the world to see if there's a prior concept that already exists for your invention, and they basically would like stop you right at the beginning and say, don't apply for this patent because it's already been done before. So he did a prior artwork search, and nothing turned up. So that gave me confidence that I was onto something that's never been done before.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you're glad that you went on with your idea because the patent lawyer cost a lot of money, and you're glad that money didn't go to waste. How much did that cost you exactly to get patented and hire a lawyer to do that?
Well,
Or I think you're still pending, right?
Actually, we just got the notice of allowance, and it took 4 years.
Oh wow, okay.
So like, there's a lot of filing fees. I mean, there's a filing, there's a fee you had to pay. I think it was like the initial application was like 5,000.
5,000.
Yep. And then you have like any time that there's a examiner, like it takes 2 years for anyone to even see your application to review it. And then once it gets assigned to an examiner, they get a few months to look after it. And then the examiners come back with a list of things that they want you to address, and then you have to pay your lawyer every time they answer all of those items. So I mean, if you go back and forth about 3 or 4 times with the examiner, like you could see how it's been 4 years for us since we started this journey, and we just got like last week.
That's congratulations. That's amazing. That's definitely a milestone.
Yeah, no, it's not easy. And it's like, again, you ask for as many claims as you can, and you want your claims to be as broad as possible. You really take what they'll give you, essentially.
Yeah, well, I love it. So your patent lawyer basically was your product research tool for this idea, which is it's different than I like it. I've never heard someone doing it that way, so that's pretty cool. I wanted to ask you about your product design. I want to jump into like manufacturing and design. You said here product designer cost you about $1,200. Did you hire someone from like Fiverr or Upworks or someone local? Who was your designer? And
so I got I'm with when you have like an overseas manufacturer, like there's a lot of like a lot of people warn you about not like trusting your idea with other people, especially those overseas, because there's all these stories of your idea being stolen. So I was very careful with who I chose to work with, and only work with referrals from my existing like inner circle. So like my patent attorney introduced me to my manufacturer for injection based silicone products in San Diego. And then my manufacturer introduced me to the product designer. I got really lucky with getting in touch with the right people. And I'd explained to him what the product was, and he we talked on the phone a few times, and everything was done virtually in 2020. He designed a 3D image of the actual silicone cap, and then that's what the final version is what we sent to the manufacturer to actually create the 36 cavity mold for injection molding.
Nice. And your manufacturer is in San Diego?
Yes. Well, we have we have two, and they have presence both in the U.S. and overseas.
Oh, okay. Are you in California?
Yes.
Oh, okay, nice. And so tell me a little bit about that. So did you talk to like multiple manufacturers, or was just this manufacturer that your lawyer referred you to, and you kind of stuck with or stick with them?
It was I kind of just stuck with this one. I didn't talk to multiple manufacturers, because they treated me really well, and the price was fair, and it's that kind of stuff that's that they're patient with me, and I'm starting a business, and like not yelling at me because I don't understand all the acronyms of this industry yet. So they've held my hand along the way, and I'm really grateful for them.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely important when you're talking to manufacturers. You want to build that rapport and feel like you can communicate with them effectively. What is the second supplier for?
So we have we have a few other suppliers, but for the knit hat part of the actual product, there's a lot more detail work into that. It's not like as easy as a 36 cavity mold where they just press a button and then they all like uniform. The actual knit hats are done by hand.
I
Yeah,
see.
and so like we have a few different people we work with, because some factories are better at certain styles than the other. And if you look at like the individual hats, they're very intricate. Like there's like, for example, like if you look at the pineapple, like all those individual threads to make the notches on the side of the pineapple, that's all done by hand. So yeah, it's part of everything. Every product that we have is unique, in the sense that yours isn't going to look exactly like someone else's.
Oh, I see. That's pretty cool. They're very personalized to the person who's making them. Are those made in like China or India?
We have in China.
So how much did it cost you to build a mold, if you don't mind me asking?
So the mold was it was about $5,000.
$5,000 to build it. And when you built it and start getting samples, was there any revisions or engineering changes that had to be made, or were you happy with the first production run?
No, we did it 3 different times actually.
Yeah.
And that's just because I'm a novice to this business. So, the first, we in the designing phase, every time we had a finished 3D design, we would get a silicone, or sorry, like a 3D print made for the sizing. And it was made out of a different material, but at least it would give us an idea of how the size would look. But when you actually have the tool made, and it's like a finished product, it could look a little bit different. So we made the actual 36 cavity mold like 3 times. So now we have the final version, and then we have actually 2 or 3. We have actually 3 other tools now. 3 other we have a larger size silicone cap version, which is like our XL for like 4 or more bananas, and then we have another one tool made for a silicone attachment that goes around the nightlight for the top of your bananas, with all the cutouts for all the buttons. And then we have another tool that's made for another upcoming product that we haven't launched yet. So pretty excited.
Oh wow, that's exciting. And for the initial product, like $5,000, was that the cost of the tool plus the samples and everything? It cost you around $5,000?
No, that was just the cost of the tool.
That was just the tool. How much was it more to like get the samples and do some engineering changes for the tool to get it to the way you just like it?
So if with the tool, like if you can't, because it's a mold, right? So they can't make whatever, if you don't like the design, if it's too big, they can make it smaller because they can't fill the gaps of each cavity. They can only like really make your design bigger, and
Mm.
they're kind of limited what they can do. So we unfortunately, because our product is so small, we had to have a whole new tool made. uh, so we had to basically pay another 10,000 to get in tooling costs to get the actual dimensions and the product right in the beginning.
Oh wow. So 5,000 plus $10,000 extra
Yes.
to
Yeah.
get the tool right. Wow. Is there something there that you feel like you could have done differently to save on that cost? Or do you feel like that was an inevitable part of the process type cost?
I guess I just feel like I should have, I was in such a rush to get the size right. Maybe I should have took my time and let the market like tell me that the size was wrong versus me making an assumption. So,
Hmm.
and as you know, I'm a perfectionist, so I just sort of wanted to get it right away. But like, maybe that was, just me having an ego trying to chase a perfect product right out the gate.
Yeah, and that's all of us, especially when you're starting your first business, your first brand, you're trying to get it perfect.
Yeah.
So, um, well, and how much did it cost you to get samples with including or after mold expenses? How much was it to like run sample runs and just to see if you like it or not?
So our the first run of samples they like did for free for me, which was
Oh,
nice.
okay.
They gave me like a like a bag for me to like just play with. But then you want to get samples of the material, like, because the hardness of the silicone, like, it varies. Like, there's a whole different science to how flexible the silicone is and how stiff it is. So we had to choose the right hardness in order to be able to be stretchy enough to fit on the bananas, but not
Yeah.
too soft to where like it would get stuck in the cavity of the mold. So
Oh, so you went on sampling different materials?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
it's so much more involved than I ever thought it would be.
yeah, no, no, I completely get it. Similar with plastic, like
Yeah.
plastic molding, and you have to get it just right. Uh, if you don't mind me asking, how much did it cost you to test out material or purchasing material for the products? How much did that cost?
Just for the whole product, I mean, I tested out like lots of material. A lot of the sites do free samples for like packaging materials and boxes, but I ordered a bunch of things just to see for sizing. So I probably spent I would say like $1,500 to $2,000 in the beginning, like just getting the right packaging and the right like stickers and the right like logos and getting everything dialed in. And what you see on the package today is actually still like what we did originally, so it hasn't changed since the beginning.
Oh, nice. Was the product designer also the person who helped you with package design and logo and all of that, or did you hire someone separately for packaging and logo design?
No, I did it all. I did all the packaging myself. But we on our logo design, we hired someone from Fiverr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Fiverr is a great tool. Like, you have to fake it till you make it, I guess, in any business. And like, you can look like a huge business like just from using the professionals at Fiverr.
Right, for like what it costs you like a couple of $100 on Fiverr to get
Yeah,
a professional logo.
yeah, and it's like they're amazing. They do amazing work.
That's amazing. And you ordered your own boxes to package it? Is that how you did it? Did you order them from like one of those websites?
Yeah, like we just got like I got like a bunch of samples from all the different like a bunch of different websites, and I knew that our product was really small, so like we wanted to do like a clear packaging just so you could see the product.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean it's a tiny little pillow box.
Nice. How much was that roughly to order your own packaging?
I'd say like it was like probably a few $100.
Few $100. Okay.
$300.
So when you had the samples and now like you found the right tool and everything, uh, w- and during that time, when was it when you launched your Kickstarter campaign?
We had everything ready and had the photos already done, and like um uh that, and then we launched the Kickstarter, and we did like a full like 60-day Kickstarter, which is like the longest amount of time you can do. And then I used the Kickstarter as a marketing tool and like promoted it like on my social media, and like boosted it as a Facebook post, and just to get some eyeballs on the product. And so, everything was already made. I was gonna start the business no matter what, even if the Kickstarter didn't reach its goal or failed. But I felt a lot more confident that the business was going to be successful from the Kickstarter response.
I love it. Um, and did you ship your products from the manufacturer? Did you plan to launch on Amazon at the same time you launched with Kickstarter and everything, or did you do that like later in the process?
No, I did everything as fast as I could, and like, I mean, it takes a while with Amazon, like getting set up, to like, you can't just like, start that same day. So
Hmm.
we had a Shopify store, and like that launched like right as soon as the Kickstarter, like the day that the Kickstarter ended, the Shopify website launched. And then we started the Amazon like as fast as possible, because like the holiday season was there. It was like December. That's the best month of the year for any business that's in retail products. So
Yeah, was it December 2021?
December 2020.
Oh, 2020, you had it ready. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, That's exciting. And you shipped the products to your place before to support the Shopify store and to fulfill the Kickstarter campaign. Did you ship those from your place or like your
Yeah.
business?
Actually, my wife and I, we lived in a one-bedroom condo up until like a month ago, and we were running like assembly, fulfillment, and shipping like all from our one-bedroom condo. So like, I shipped the raw materials to my house, the silicones, the magnets, the hats, and the packaging. I have two label makers, like machine, like expensive, nice label makers that are automated, and we assembled all the units in the beginning, and I was going to the post office like 2 or 3 times a day,
Wow.
dropping off orders. No, in hindsight, I probably needed to go once a day, like, because there's no reason to go more than once. But I was excited to get the product in the hands of the people.
Definitely. I love that.
Yeah, but we're running like fulfillment, like I'll show you some photos, but like we were like boxes to the roof, like everywhere in our condo. You couldn't hide. It looked like a warehouse.
True entrepreneurial spirit. And I want to jump into launching on Amazon in a second, but I have two questions before we get on there. Um, it says over here 10,000 units was your first initial inventory order. Is that right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it cost you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
we didn't assemble like the first, like that's how many, like we had the materials for the raw materials, but we assembled like we tried to like be mindful of the assembly, like, and trying to assemble like the units that had the most like demand and styles. We didn't want to like waste like product or packaging materials on, if one of the styles wasn't a good seller. We didn't want to like make those units, prioritize those units above something else that's selling faster.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you limited them initially. You
Yeah. So we had like 10,000, like we could make 10,000 if we wanted to.
Wow. And you had the boxes and everything for 10,000, or you limited it like to less?
I think we did less. Yeah, just because like things are always changing, and like, it's a new business. So like, you never know, like, you could find that, someone could complain about something that, is an
Yeah.
easy fix, and we don't want to be like too in over our heads.
Yeah, how many did you ship to Amazon?
I think initially it was a small amount. It was like only like maybe like 50 units of each style, like 300 units.
How many SKUs did you have?
6.
6 SKUs initially.
Yep.
Okay. And you got your barcodes on GS1?
We did. This is before I didn't buy barcodes until like like about like 6 or 8 months later.
Oh, okay.
So we did it as like a, in hindsight, I should have did the barcodes right out the gate. But yeah, we didn't. We did it as a like G10 exempt.
Oh, okay. So you submitted an exempt application with Amazon
Yes,
and got approved for that.
right.
Nice. And then later, what made you decide to get the barcodes?
I mean, it was only a matter of time. I wanted to get the barcodes because the whole plan for this business was to get into retail, and like you need barcodes if you want to go into any retail on the planet. So
Yeah.
it was good for me to get anyway. So now we have all the barcodes.
Nice. Nice. So I'm really excited to jump into launching on Amazon, right? So you said you launched in December of 2020,
Yes.
and after all the cost and everything, I can see like the cost per unit was approximately $3.80, 87 cents, and you were selling it for $9.99 initially. Was that your initial price as well?
No, it's funny. Um, we sold initially at 14.99.
Okay.
Yeah, which we're playing with the price to see like what the market would decide. And it was selling at 14.99, and it was selling, and then but we lowered it eventually to 12.99, and then 10.99, and now 9.99.
Was that like a year later or a few months later, or
So we started at 14.99. A few months later, we lowered it, like let's say 6 months later, lowered it to 12.99.
got it?
And then from 12.99 was our price for a long time, for about I'd say a year. And then we lowered it to 10.99, and eventually 9.99.
Nice. And did you use any PPC marketing initially, or did
Yes.
you go fully organic? You did?
Yes. And we actually only use uh like PPC marketing through Amazon, like for across all platforms, because we have like so much more control over the spend and also the performance. I feel like when we do it on Instagram or social, Facebook or TikTok, like we don't have. I don't feel like we have as much say over who sees our ads as we do on Amazon.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if you can go that far onto Amazon, but I was wondering if you can pull up the report for year one of you selling on Amazon. And I would love to break down the revenue you made on in your first year, how many units you've sold, how much it cost you on PPC, so we can look at the how much profits you've made in your first year and second year.
Yeah, I'd be happy to tell you. Let me see. Now, if I don't necessarily want to show like my screen, is that all right with you?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay. Um, you know, you hear on TikTok, there's all these like guys that get interviewed about Amazon sellers, and they say like they watch interviews with founders and who show their screens and
Oh,
how successful they are, and they literally just like copy their business.
oh my God.
I don't know if you've heard of that happening, but like,
Not that way, no. Well, you have a patent now, so you're good.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's only as like defensible as Amazon allows. Like, so I'm kind of at the point where I'm nervous that who knows what Amazon's gonna like say is not good or good. Okay, so Amazon sales. So we did like a 142,000 in 2021.
142,000. Nice. Do you know how many units you've sold?
I don't,
Okay.
but
Uh,
you could divide it by like 10 and get a good idea.
it's a good idea. Yeah, I think you had it for 6 months for 14.99, then 6 months for 12.99. So maybe the average price was 13.99.
Yeah,
Divided by that, about 10,150 units.
yeah, that sounds right.
So does that mean so your initial inventory order was $10,000. How far into the year did you reorder your inventory?
Well, it became like really apparent like throughout like the early days, like what styles like were the like crowd favorites and what weren't. So, like the unicorn was like one of the favorites, and in the monkey. So we like made those. We made more of those like as fast as we could. So I'd say like by like June we were making more of those. And then I hired like people off like TaskRabbit to like come over and help me assemble, because like my like
Nice.
my fingers, like, I give a whole like props to all the people working factories, because like I'm not built for that kind of work, I guess, because my hands were just so cut up from working the tools and getting cut on the magnets and like so dry, and like it's hard work.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard on your back, and but yeah, I needed help, but we got through it.
So I'm curious, now that you have the mold, how much was the material to make the parts cost you?
So like to have this like all the part, you mean like silicone material?
Yeah,
It's about like 65 cents.
65 cents a unit.
Yeah, but that's just like the one part of it,
I mean, did the manufacturer supply that? Like you just tell them I want 10,000 more units kind of thing, and they handled that part?
Yep, and they would just like ship it to me.
Nice. So how much were they charging you per order?
Like what do you mean? Like if they were just charging me the cost, and then I would pay the shipping separately.
Okay. So
And there's also like customs you have to pay, and like there's a lot of like expenses in the beginning. Like we did everything like shipping air, because our product was so small.
oh, nice. So the caps, the mittens, the little things that you guys were making by hand, you were shipping them from overseas by air.
Yep.
How much were those costing you roughly?
So like the whole product like cost, I think I put it in the spreadsheet, but it was
Yeah,
only
I'm trying to like understand the so it says silicone caps 8,500. So that's the cost the manufacturer charged you to make the 10,000 units.
yes.
And the net miniature hats you put $5,000. So that's how much it costs you to get it done overseas.
Yeah, and like and that took a while to like figure out the designs. Like we got lots of samples of, we wanted to pick the 6 different styles that like represent like everyone could find something they relate to in the 6 styles that we chose. So
is it fair to say it's about $12,000 for your inventory order between the miniature hats and the silicone caps?
yes.
Okay. And the reason we're asking all this is basically we're walking beginner entrepreneurs through the journeys of other entrepreneurs and other brand owners, because we all go through this, and we just like to give them honest results and honest like feedback on what to expect and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you worked with Travis?
Honestly, I just started working with him this year, since February.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where are you located, or are you with him? Like where he's? Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're both in California. He's in LA. I live in OC, and I go up to LA like twice a week to meet up with him and work on some business aspect. We just launched another product like 2 days ago, which is really exciting. Yeah.
What is it?
We just launched the first ever berberine tea on Amazon.
Oh,
Yes, the first in the world.
what kind of tea?
It's called berberine tea.
Is it good? You drink it?
Here, it's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Here, I'll text you the link so you can take a look at it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And we launched another product in March of this year. It's doing really well on Amazon too. It's called Carnivore Electrolytes.
Oh, I'd love to see the data you guys can see of my business through Amazon, like through the so I know like all of our sales can be like tracked,
Oh, like that? We don't usually do that. I mean, no, yeah, we don't
so I
track.
think like all these like companies that like all these companies copying my business like are trying to copy.
Are there? Honestly, I didn't look, but are there people like trying to copy you?
Yeah, and it's I mean, it was bound to happen when you like show up on TV, like presenting your product to the world, like.
Oh, I see.
But
Yeah, I mean, especially on Amazon, it's inevitable because I mean, so many people, especially with private labeling, right? Like people on Amazon are going very hard on private labeling. So they see something and immediately they're like, oh, how can I copy it, change it, make it look good? Okay, I see. But you're taking a lot of digital real estate. I mean, not a lot of people are copying you.
There's a few like, and it's annoying because like they target the same keywords and like they're spending like like cost per click is like $1.50, which is like
Wow.
it's ridiculous because like they're not making any money, they're losing money.
Yeah.
It's why.
Yeah, they're gonna lose. They're gonna drain themselves. It's not a profitable strategy.
I hope so.
And that's why I wanted to ask you, how much do you know how much you've spent on PPC in the first year?
I think we were spending like 1,000 a month at max.
A thousand a month the max. So you've spent total like $12,000
Yeah, in the first year. Yeah.
the first year. And the 142,000, was that only Amazon or was that including Shopify and other places?
No, that was only Amazon.
Oh, it's only Amazon. Nice. So it breaks down like after startup costs and everything. Your first year, you guys made approximately $30,000 in net profits. That's pretty good. That's amazing. Does
Yeah.
that sound about right?
Yeah. No, that does sound right. Like,
Nice. Congratulations. I mean, that's amazing.
I know we were like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, being profitable the first year is really cool.
Do you have a partner with this, or was it just you and your wife?
Yeah, just me. No
Nice. That's
partners.
amazing.
Yeah.
And do you mind sharing year two, like letting me know how year two was for you?
Yeah, year two, would that be 2022?
Yes.
Was about like 390 on Amazon.
Oh man, congratulations. That's like double year one.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta like remember like we were on like Shark Tank at the end of the year, so that was like huge.
That was end of 2022.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's like that like was like pretty much like we went from like red to black like overnight,
how was your experience going on Shark Tank?
Really cool. Like it was a once in a life. Like I was a huge fan of the show, and like it was just so trippy to be on like the other side, like and like standing there on the carpet in front of those five sharks, and really surreal, like amazing experience. Like had out of body experience. Like it's similar to my like wedding day. Like I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the pressure being there is unbelievable.
Totally.
Did you guys show on TV too?
Yes.
Oh man, okay. I'm gonna look for that episode for sure.
Yeah. It's on YouTube.
Nice. How much inventory did you order like after that second order in June? Do you remember like your inventory placements after that? How much inventory? Because year two, you've more than doubled um your sales in year two, and I was just curious, like, do you
Yeah.
know how much you've
I mean,
placed on inventory order?
I would think we ordered like 30 to 40,000, units like to like in anticipation of like demand. And in hindsight, I probably overdid it like big time because like I had a bunch of units. I had so many units going into the Shark Tank thing, and like I there was no guarantee with Shark Tank. Like you don't even make it. They could film you and you just don't air on TV. But I was so like driven and like I was like I'm gonna be on TV 100%. I wouldn't even failure was not an option. So like I mean
I love it.
we had like 100,000 units like on the sideline like when I filmed in 2022. So yeah, and they don't go bad, which is great. So like I could stockpile the units, and then I was getting ready for all the orders, the wholesale orders. In hindsight, though, I probably overdid it because like I didn't want to like now I want to like change some of my packaging, but now I have a lot of units still in the old packaging and that kind of stuff.
How long did it take you to get approved to Shark Tank? Did you apply and get approved in the same year?
It took a full year of like auditions, yeah, and like every round of like cuts. Like it could end at your road could end at like any moment. So like,
Wow.
yeah, even after you film, it could never, no one could ever see it. So it's like you don't take everything for granted, and like you just always think like hope for the best and know that like nothing could come of this.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you, I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but did you end up getting a deal with one of the sharks?
Yes. Yep.
Oh man.
I, I got two.
Nice. You got two sharks.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing. And how is the business been since then?
It's been really good. We just got into Kroger. I'm sorry, Fred Meyer stores, which is a as of last week.
Wow,
So
congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, we just launched. So like it's been my mission with this business to get the product in grocery stores, like because it should be sold next to the bananas, right?
Makes
Uh,
sense. Yeah,
Makes
totally.
sense, but like it's just been such a challenge. So we are now in Idaho, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska, and Fred Meyer's. So if you know anyone who lives there, tell them to go in a store and help me out and buy some bananas.
I used to live in Michigan and Kroger was the store to go to over there. Now I'm in California. There's no Krogers here.
Yeah,
But
we have Ralph's, but yeah,
yeah, Sprouts is here. That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations. That's really exciting. And before we jump into year three, but I wanted to ask you, how much PPC campaign did you spend in year two?
year two, I'd say is about like 2,000 a month, probably.
2000 a month. So you're looking at 24K.
Yeah, and again, we have all these competitors, copycats now that like they like hurt the performance of our campaigns because it's like it's a little bit more saturated, like targeting the same keywords.
On Amazon.
Yeah,
I see. Honestly, I'm looking right now and I don't see a lot of good competition.
well, we place high because of the search terms, like so like luckily that's like our saving grace, but like the sponsored ads, they're still like they're all over the same listings.
I see. Oh man, I'm pretty sure they're losing money on their ad campaigns.
I mean, they have to be, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're probably running their ads dry. No, I love it, man. So that's 2022. So how was it in 2023? And I think you can get the accurate numbers on Amazon for 2023 since it's last year.
We did 500.
500. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how much did you spend on PPC?
Oh, you can't go far back, I guess.
Oh yeah, on PPC you can go back. Doesn't say it on the report. Oh yeah, I don't think it does. I think you can go all time, and then you can like when you put the cursor over it, you can see like a certain period.
Yeah, so we averaged about like 3,000 a month.
3,000 a month. And finally, so far this year, you want to share the numbers for this year?
Yeah, what would you like to know?
Revenue and PPC.
So like this year, like our revenue is down year over year, but that's like just because like we make all the money at the end of the year anyway. So far this year we've done like about 100,000 in sales, and also just because it's a little bit more of a tighter economy. I think people don't have the money to spend right now, like on extra things, even though this will help save money in the long run.
Totally, and you're getting into retail, which is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I mean it's so early too. Like from what I've told is like once you're in one of these stores, like it's kind of like a domino effect, and like you'll get more orders, but you always have to just get in one first. And our cost per click is about like 65 cents.
You mean PPC so far?
Yes. Was it the price per click, right?
Yeah, the PPC cost. Do you know how much it's been costing you?
Oh, how much am I spending?
Yes.
Yeah, we're averaging 3,000 a month.
3,000 a month.
I just need to get on TV at least once a year, that free marketing, and it could really be a game changer.
Oh, I'm sure Shark Tank will replay at some point on TV.
It's replayed it about 6 times already, and every time like we see a spike in sales, like a little like blip, but it's pretty cool. It's like the gift that keeps giving, you know.
That's awesome. I love that. Have you, like in the last 4 years, have you seen any surprises or was there anything interesting that happened during that period? I know Shark Tank obviously is a big one.
I would say like just like the amount of like emails and like the response I got from people like when the show aired. Everyone like loves bananas and has like some personal story they wanted to share with me about something about bananas, or they want to tell me that what styles I should add to my my roster. I love like that involvement. So I mean, that was really cool to get to see. I wasn't expecting to get such a strong like outpouring of support.
Beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about three mistakes that maybe were costly mistakes that you've made that cost you money and like you could have learned from or someone new could learn from. I know we spoke about the tooling, maybe like waiting on that instead of spending more money on like redesigning the tool that cost you about $10,000. Are there two other costly mistakes that you're like, I wish I didn't do it this way, or something that we can learn from?
I would say one costly mistake is like the cost of marketing, like because that's a daily struggle is to not overspend on marketing. Like, and
Mm,
luckily, like I'm proficient in computers, so like I could design like our Instagram posts like ourself, like using one of the tools like on the internet, and like hiring branding. I've hired many branding agencies and internet marketing people, but it's difficult to give away like your brand to someone else to be how it can be perceived in the public's eye. So I'd say if you can teach yourself to do those things, like you're getting much further ahead. And then I would say, yeah, just like lowering your the customer lifetime value is trying to see how much your customers will spend with you, and then building a community of buyers where you can send them newsletters. And because nowadays in 2024, like they don't people don't care as much about your product, they care about your message.
mm,
I think like if I was to do it over again, I would focus a lot more on that.
mm. Do you feel like you've missed out on like some money because of that? Like, can you put a value on it? And did you spend money on agencies like for PPC that help you with PPC marketing, or did you do it all yourself?
No, I did it myself. And but for like Amazon PPC, I would definitely like hire an agency, just because like there's so many moving parts, and you have to adjust your bids up and down, like, and a lot of the agencies use like software to like adjust the price. So I would recommend using an agency for PPC on Amazon. I wouldn't recommend using an agency for like Instagram ads or Facebook ads, because you're going to end up, like, for our product is only $9.99. It's really hard to make a profit if you're going to like pay $5 in marketing to acquire that customer. So they have to basically buy 2 or 3 units for you to like break even. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, you're thin margins. And so do you feel like was there any like costly mistakes that you've made that we can share with people?
yeah, I would say like another costly mistake is like when you send in your inventory to Amazon, you should always use the Amazon partner, the shipping partner postage, because I can't tell you how much inventory like they've lost of ours like over the years. Like, you
Oh
know,
man.
I don't know if it's just me, like, but like they've lost, like, if I'm sending in 6 boxes, like I can almost guarantee they're gonna lose one. So
Wow.
I noticed that like when they lose our inventory, like if we use their UPS shipping partner for the postage, they're a lot more inclined to reimburse me for the lost inventory, versus if I used my own shipping labels, which
Mm,
is which is weird. So I don't know why that is, but it's a good tip.
yeah, definitely. That's a really good tip. And would you happen to know how much money like you may have lost if you were to put a number on it because of that?
I would say like probably like I mean 500 units is what, $5,000, like probably like 10 or 15,000 over the years,
Wow.
and
Wow.
that's just like a write off.
Yeah, no, that's a really good lesson for people who are selling on Amazon.
It's crazy how stuff just disappears like from those big fulfillment centers.
Oh, definitely. It just happened to me recently, actually, and they reimbursed me they lost a box of units, and it's funny because I was running out of inventory, and I ended up like had to close my listing down, and it kind of sucks because it ruins your ranking a little bit. And
Yep.
they did reimburse me for the units, but it sucks because I had to close the listing for a little bit, which kind of ruined my ranking a little bit. But if if that didn't happen, I think my sales would have been a little better.
Yeah. And also like they have to make sure that like the shipping label's scanned in, like, because that I can't tell you that's like been an issue too, where like they'll be like, oh, the Amazon box was never picked up, but like they're shipping 20 boxes, like they just scan like they don't scan every single box. They might scan like the master box, but for normal people that are like watching your channel, like they just need to scan the label just to show the tracking's been checked into the UPS center.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a really good one. Is there like one last mistake that you can think of that may have cost you money?
I think I grew pretty fast with the business. I think like I parlayed all the profits really fast into more inventory when I should have maybe slowed down a little bit, but it's fine because my inventory doesn't go bad. uh, so we'll sell it eventually. But I'd maybe take my time with building up my inventory because I was so nervous always about running out and like not being able to fulfill demand. But I've learned that like people are are actually patient and like I I should slow down and not build such big like a war chest of inventory. I should let the demand decide.
Did that limit your cash flow in any way because you were ordering too much?
Yes.
Okay. Did it affect you in any way, like in certain areas? Like, did it limit any areas of your business?
Yeah, I mean, it like, obviously, like, it takes away from like our ability to like market or pay for like marketing. We have to like shift money around, but then the inventory just sits. And if it's not sold, it's just like it's a dead asset. So
Yeah,
cash flowing is the lifeblood.
right, right. Is it like it's not sitting in the Amazon warehouse, is it? Like, are you being charged long-term storage fees, or is it like sitting in your warehouse where you don't have to pay anything?
Yeah, no, we have two different like I have some at Amazon and some in the some in our warehouse, which is for like our Shopify orders, and then we also like dabbled with Amazon warehousing and distribution. I don't know if you've ever played with that. Have you tried that yet?
No, I have not actually.
It's like their new thing where it's like you can send your inventory to be stored off site and
Mm,
then there's no placement fees like for your inventory. They'll ship it from the offsite storage to the FBA warehouse for you, like based on your demand.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they're trying to get into the storage game.
Oh, that's good to know actually. That could be helpful when it comes to maintaining inventory.
Yeah. No, it's new. I don't know if I'm sure it's available for everyone, but like I was in the part of like the beta testing it and it's pretty cool.
Mm, that is pretty cool. No, it's the first time I hear about it.
It's called AWD.
AWD, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your story. I mean, it's really inspiring. I love your product. I love what you've been through. Congratulations on all the success. This is really exciting.
Yeah.
I think you have a cool product, cool story. Thank you for coming out here and sharing it with us. I can't wait to see like where this is gonna end up and how big it's gonna grow. Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you again and see how this all ends up.
Hey, I appreciate you, Kamal. And if you know anyone who lives near Fred Meyer, yeah, tell them to stop in and get a nanat.
You got it, man. Appreciate it.